Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where my goal is to help you to feel comfortable with your palate. Remember, I might like a wine on this program, I might give it big ups, you might not like it. That's okay, because everybody has their own palate, and that's what you need to understand. It doesn't matter what Parker says. It doesn't matter what Stephen Tanzer says. I mean, they're good guides. Hopefully I'm a good guide. We try to explain why we like the wines, why we give it a good grade or a good score. But, bottom line, it's all about your palate and what you like. But what I always try to encourage anyone who drinks wine, always remember to branch out. Never get stuck on one thing. At least try not to get stuck on one thing. I understand that comfortable, it's really easy to go and buy a Pinot Gris all the time that you like. I understand that. But every once in a while, just maybe even once a month, branch out a little bit, try something new, ask somebody for some advice, maybe something I found on this program you'll like. Today we're going to look again at rosé. I think spring is getting really close. Today was a funny day. I went out running this morning. It rained on me, then it was sunny, then it was windy, then it rained. Crazy weather, we're used to that. As spring gets closer, it starts getting warmer out and people start thinking about rosé. Now, of course, I drink rosé year round. I like it. It's very versatile with food. It goes with a lot of different things. Thanksgiving, it goes with turkey. Christmas, it goes with ham. It goes with so many different foods. And it's also nice to just sit and watch a movie and have a glass of rosé. I love rosé. I have a lot of friends who like rosé. Some people like them dry, some people like them a little more fruity. And what's interesting to me, Wine Spectator put Marival, the Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt cooperation they bought the Marival winery and they made a rosé with the help of the Beaucastel family. And then the Wine Spectator put it in the top 100 wines for 2013. So it seems as if there's just like huge push for rosé this year. I've been offered at the store from sales reps tons of rosés. I mean, just people are clamoring to get on that rosé bandwagon. It reminds me just a little bit of, the Sideways show when Pinot Noir became the big rage. Not sure if rosé will go there, but it seems like there's a huge push. Could be because that rosé made it on the top 100. Of course, I totally disagreed with that. I think it was a really good rosé. Absolutely delicious, but top 100 wine? I don't know. Don't know about that. Don't know if I agree with that. Well, I have 3 rosés here today, all in different price points. And we're going to try these rosés. The first one I'm going to try is the Casal Garcia Vinho Verde Rosé from Portugal. And these are interesting because they have a little bit of a spritz to them. Here, let me show you the label. There you go. And this one's only $7.99 retail. But these are, what I like about these rosés from Portugal, and maybe you're familiar with Vinho Verde, the green wine as we call it, has a little bit of a frizzante to it. And they're just really refreshing, light wines that really are a nice value. I mean, you think about it, $7.99 for a bottle of rosé, crazy. Let's see what we get on the nose. See, do you see the bubbles on it? Here, let me show you the glass. You see, it's got a little bit of a frizzante, a little spritz to it, which a lot of people like. I'm one of them. Just a lot of strawberry on the nose, a little bit of watermelon. A little herbal component, which is interesting, like dried herbs. Just, rosé, some rosés pop out of the glass a lot more. This one is a little more subdued on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is pretty dry rosé. It's kind of got a little bit of a funkiness on the palate. I don't know how to describe what I'm tasting. It's kind of like herbs meet a little bit of, like the strawberries are a little bit overripe, and you sprinkle a little bit of like a tarragon and sage on the rosé, on the strawberries. Get a little bit of watermelon. I still get a little bit of a funky thing in the mid palate. You know, it's okay. It's $7.99. It's not a great rosé. It's nice and dry. I wouldn't want to sit on the couch and drink this rosé by itself. I think if you had a little bit of food, it might, you know, might complement that herbal component. Sorry about that. Nah, you know, $7.99. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's kind of in between. You know, it tastes like a $7.99 rosé, which is okay. So I'm going to give it a C. It's just average. Nothing bad, nothing good. Just right in the middle. C for the Casal Garcia. By the way, March is Washington Wine Month, and you might be wondering, why are you doing rosé? Well, I just want to get that rosé out there in front of you. Think about it. If you haven't, you know, ventured into rosé, you know, it might be the time to think about doing it. And the versatility for food is great with seafood, shellfish. It's good with salmon. It's good with a lot of different things because it's got some weight to it because it's you know, it's got the red grapes that have the bleeding off of the juice. They call it the Saunier method, which is what most of them do. Very few wineries just make a straight up rosé, although in Provence it's really common. The next two wines are from Provence, where they'll actually make a rosé solely from the grapes instead of bleeding it off of their regular wine. See, a lot of winemakers like to bleed off a little bit of the juice. It gives more concentration to the juice they're using for maybe their Grenache or their Cinsault or their Syrah or whatever they're making with those grapes. And then they use that little bit of juice that's only been on the skins for a brief period of time. They bleed that off and make rosé. It's kind of like they make a little extra money on the grapes, and then they get more concentration on the fruit by bleeding off some of that juice that would dilute the overall, you know, you get it. You bleed off a little, it makes it more concentrated. I'm not going to say any more. But anyway, Washington Wine Month is in March. I just did a video. My last one was with Kyra from Kyra Wines, a great Washington wine producer. We had a very successful tasting with her and a group of people, and you know, we sold lots of wine, so that was good. This next one I'm going to try is from Provence. It is Saint Roch Les Vins, Côte de Provence. This one rolls in at $15. And you know, Provence rosé, let's see, are we getting that? There we go. Provence rosés are really, really good. I've always liked them from Provence. This one is a 50% Grenache, 50% Cinsault, and my absolute favorite rosés come from Cinsault. I just think that grape makes fantastic rosé. I tasted a rosé from 100% Grenache yesterday. It was terrible. I mean, it was the worst rosé I've tasted in my memory. And I haven't tasted too many bad rosés. Even this one for $7 or $8, $7.99, $8, much better. I mean, it was just bland, but it was 100% Grenache, which I'm not sure if I would go with that. So let's see what we get on the nose with this one. Now this is more the nose I'm used to. Strawberries, cherries, watermelon. A little bit of that provincial herbal component coming through. You even get a little bit of a peach, a tiny hint of peach on the nose. And a little bubble gum, you know, like it's got a little bit of that bubble gum action on it. Really very good nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Bone dry, which a lot of people, I'm going to just show you if you can see this at all, the color on this. It's so light. It's got that salmon color they talk about. A lot of people look for that. I had a customer come in the store the other day and she was looking for a bone dry rosé. I didn't have any at the time. Well, I had the X, which I think is a great rosé. But this would be the perfect rosé for somebody looking for a bone dry, but yet it still has that provincial herbs on it. You know, I get a little bit of a thyme, rosemary. No parsley sage though, just rosemary and thyme. I do have a sense of humor, even though I do look serious, I understand that. But anyway, just bone dry, delicious, got that strawberry cherry, they're very light, but good acidity. It lingers in the mouth. I'm getting more of the provincial herb on this than anything, with that watermelon, cherry, strawberry thing going on. Yeah, the cherries are delicious. As it's coming through the mid palate, they kind of expand a little bit. Finish is bone dry. For those of you who like dry rosé, I do. I don't like them all bone dry, but this one is really good. I can tell that Cinsault is coming through. If it was just Grenache, it was more Grenache, I'd be a little bit worried. But they did a nice job. Excellent job on the Saint Roch Les Vins Rosé Côte de Provence. $15, good play. I'm going to give this rosé a B+. I think it's an excellent rosé. Mr. Murphy asked me, who sent me this sample from Unique Wines, asked me what I thought. Well, here's what I think. That is a great rosé. B+, even A-. I might even go that far. Love this. Yeah, great rosé. That'd be delicious with clams. You could even saute your clams in that. Oysters, you know, anything like that would be fantastic. Shrimp, be perfect. Let's move on to the Domaine de la Fouquet, another Provence, Côte de Provence, 2013. I think they are all 2013. That's Les Vins. Excuse me. You know, yeah, 2000. You think by now I'd have this down to a science, but I don't. The Vino Verde is I don't even see a year on it. It might be non-vintage. Could be, yes. Anyway, but I just got these. This was not, the Garcia was from a different producer or different distributor. These two, Mr. Murphy sent me. So this one, let's take a look at the label. God, I seem to be rambling today. Sorry about that, guys. I'll get it together. 65% Grenache, 30% Cinsault, and then 5% of a white grape called Rollet, which is the first I've heard of that one. Let's see, let's give this a little bit of a rinse. Again, on this one, the color is just as light as can be, which is very typical of rosé, especially from Cinsault and Grenache. The Fouquet, the family that makes the Fouquet actually handpicks the grapes. It's in an organic, soon-to-be certified organic vineyard. So some people, you know, that it means a lot to them. I think it's important to be sustainable, organic. Ooh, love the nose on this. Again, you get the provincial herbs. This one has a little bit of a, actually has a, get a little cherry, a little watermelon. I can, a little bit of that bubble gum sort of action comes through on this one. A lot of herbs, just like the other one. But definitely cherry and watermelon. with a little bit of the watermelon rind thrown in there. Just that, you know, have you ever, when I was a kid, I always liked to eat just a little bit of the rind of the watermelon. Very perfumed. I'm liking the nose on this baby. It's really good, as you can tell. But let's not smell it to death. Let's see what it does on the palate. Another bone dry rosé. For those of you who like rosé really dried, this would be a good one. I get that. I love that herbal, the dried herbs on this one, the rosemary, the thyme, the different flavors I'm getting, that provincial herbal component. And then also the cherries are coming through, the watermelon with the watermelon rind. I'm getting more of the rind than I am actually the watermelon. I wasn't able to find a price on this, but I think it rolls in about $17, a little bit more. It's a delicious rosé. The herbal, like I said, I'm not going to beat it to death, but it's very, very herbal, dried herbs, cherries, watermelon rind. It's a beauty. Very dry, just like the other one that I tried from Provence. This one would complement shellfish, ham, just a host of foods, salads, sitting on the couch, watching a good movie, drinking a bone-dry wine. Beautiful. On a hot summer day, well, hopefully we have a few of those up here in the Pacific Northwest, or wherever you're at. This is a beauty. And I'm going to give this one a B+, A- also. I think they're really close to each other. I was a little worried about this one because it said it was 65% Grenache and only 30% Cinsault, but anytime you throw any Cinsault in there, I tend to be a big fan. That's my palate, that's what I like. I also like rosés that have a fuller body to them. I kind of go all over with those. It depends on what I'm doing, what I'm eating, how I feel that day. But if you like dry rosés, these are a beauty. If you want just an inexpensive average rosé for $7, $8, go for the Sol Garcia. But anyway, good stuff. And I want to thank Murphy for sending me these. Mr. Murphy, thank you very much. I'm glad I liked them. I certainly think that they will do well at my store, and I think people will enjoy them. So thanks for watching. Cheers, and here's to keeping the snob out of wine.